This Fibonacci spiral will not only twist your head but also will help us to predict the next move of Bitcoin. What is the next target and can we go there? Let's analyze.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise and let's analyze Bitcoin. Together we will go through daily, 4-hour and 1-hour time frame in this video. In the previous video I have told you that with the highest probability Bitcoin will continue to pump from $119,000 towards this resistance at around $124,000. As you can see, that's exactly what happened. We have started to go to the upside and after touching the resistance we have started to get a rejection. With ParadiseFamilyVIPs we have been preparing for that. We have been opening day-long position on Bitcoin at $119,000 after a substantial confirmations, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, we have got a beautiful retest exactly of our entry zone because we are always using liquidity important pools for our entries and exits. And as you can see, we have exited at the top. We have been taking profit at the high. Ladies and gentlemen, right now the question is what's gonna happen next? We will be analyzing the Elliott wave theory. We will take a look at some indicators and we will determine with the highest probability what's going to be the next price action once again. So let's have a look on daily time frame. First of all, let's have a look at the ABC zigzag that we are creating. As you know, we are from the ultra high time frame perspective in this corrective mode wave, which is subdividing itself into ABC zigzag with the highest probability, where this was the A wave, this is the B wave, and right now we are creating the C wave. As you know from our website mycryptoparadise.com, the ABC zigzag is interesting with the fact that the A wave and C waves are motive mode waves. That's why they are subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves. And if we zoom in, ladies and gentlemen, and take a closer look on the C wave, we can analyze that we are already in the final 5th wave, right? So this was our first wave, secondary wave, third wave that we have been able to predict by getting the bottoms of the first and secondary wave, placing a trend line at the 2 points, copying the slope of the trend line like this, and after that placing it to the top of the first wave, and we have got the target for the third wave. After that we have got a confirmations that we are about to have a crash by looking at shooting star candlestick pattern that been confirmed by this bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. Well, and after that we have really indeed started to crash towards our ascending trend line of that channel, and we have concluded the 4th wave. So as you can see from the Elliott wave perspective, 1, 2, 3, 4 been completed, and right now we are in the final 5th wave. Let me show you what I mean. So this is the C wave, ladies and gentlemen, and the C is a motive mode wave and subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves. And with the highest probability we have completed the 4th wave, and right now we are in the 5th wave, which with the highest probability, given that we will be able to hold above this ascending trend line, will take us towards $135,000. What is interesting from the Elliott wave perspective, if you understand exactly how the Elliott wave working, you also understand that the 5th wave itself subdivides itself into even 5 smaller waves because it's an actionary wave and also a motive mode wave. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, if we will have a look at the 5th wave, which I do believe we have started to create from the bottom right here, we can see that with the highest probability we have already created the 1st wave. Right now we are creating a secondary wave, and what's incoming is 3rd, 4th and 5th wave, which is with the highest probability gonna take us towards $135,000, ladies and gentlemen. But few things we need to wait for in order for us to be able to say this with an absolute certainty and with us being able to position ourselves into some nice profitable swing trading positions, right? So first of all we need to take a look what's going on the indicators side. All right, so if we take a look at the MACD histogram, we can see, is there something bullish or is there something bearish? Well, right now we are making some warning signs for bulls because we are creating a bearish divergence. As you can see on the histogram, we are creating a lower high and the price action created equal, almost a little bit a higher high. It is not confirmed yet, ladies and gentlemen, because you can see that we have a bullish cross. We have a bullish cross, not a bearish one. So only this bearish divergence is going to be confirmed if this blue line will cross the red line. But right now it's not the situation. Right now what is playing, what is active is this bullish divergence, because on the previous low, on this one, as you can see, we have created on the price action a higher low. On the MACD histogram we have created a lower low, and this is a bullish divergence. You already know about it from the previous video, right? Bullish divergence, this one is hidden when the price action is creating higher low and the indicator is creating lower low. It basically suggests that there have been loads of momentum, loads of aggressive selling going on exactly at support, and somebody big being absorbing the selling pressure executed by limit orders, and that is why the price wasn't able to create a lower low, all right, basically close below the previous low, this one, the way the MACD histogram did. As you can see, the MACD histogram created a lower low, and you can see the momentum, the bearish momentum is extremely much bigger than the previous momentum. So this is basically an exhaustion of bears, and that is also one of the reasons why we have got this surge to the upside. If we take a look at the RSI indicator right now, we are trying to get a bullish reclaim. We have this exaggerated bullish divergence, all right, and right now we are trying to have a bullish reclaim. So as you know, this was bearish, right, because we have been trading below the moving average RSI trend line, but just recently we have broken it to the upside, and right now for a confirmation for continuation, you always need to understand that you are waiting not only for the breakout, but if you want to create only the highest probability trades, you are waiting for a reclaim. That means you need to wait from this resistance to be created a support, all right, and so you are waiting for a reclaim, which is consisting out of a proper breakout to the upside and then a bullish retest, and this needs to hold as a support, and right now we are retesting it. If I will see a little spike of this line to the upside, it will give me the hint that this was a successful reclaim. Absolutely beautiful. If we take a look at the stochastic RSI, indeed we have right now a bearish cross at an overbought area, but you can see right here we have been consolidating in an overbought area during June for a prolonged period of time. We have also got a bearish cross, but we have continued to go to the upside, and this bearish cross was only during the secondary wave, and right now, as you know from the Elliott wave perspective, we are also creating a secondary wave, right? So given this moving average trend line, this point of control of VPVR and this ascendant trend line is gonna hold, all right, we are with the highest probability gonna start create a third wave, ladies and gentlemen, and we are starting our motive mode fifth wave from the higher degree towards $135,000. So right now we are waiting for a completion of the secondary wave. Once we have enough confirmations, we will be positioning ourselves with the highest probability trade setups where we can place our stop loss very tightly to our entry zone with a beautiful entry targets as high as possible, because right now we are looking for a swing position. Before we have been just doing scalp and day trading, right, because we have been just catching a little bit of this movement, but the secondary waves are the best waves for creating a swing trading positions, be it on the short side, be it on the long side. Right now the higher probability is for the long side. Once we get enough confirmations, we are gonna position ourselves for the rally towards $135,000. Let's zoom right now towards 4-hour time frame, which will reveal to us much more indications. But before we jump into 4-hour time frame, the last thing I wanted to share with you right here is the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, because if you want to understand where the secondary wave is going to finish, the highest probability trade setup is going to be after you get a proper test, and basically you will see that the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level is holding. So basically you want to see a retrace of this smaller wave, all right, 0.618, all right, 618 Fibonacci sequence, very important level, and if you confluence it together with the moving average trend line and the point of control from the VPVR, this is so much of confluences, and you will see on the lower time frames we have even more confluences at this area right here. So right now we are just waiting for confirmations, but you need to understand loads of important support levels are right here, and if it's gonna hold, the probabilities of going higher are much higher than going lower. If we are about to go lower, I will be waiting for a proper reclaim of this ascending trend line. If we will have a break and retest, turning it into resistance, this ascending trend line, then I will be aggressively shorting with Paradise Family VIPs. Then I will be aggressively shorting with Paradise Family VIPs the market to the downside towards the next important demand zone at this 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level at around $109,000. But until then, I'm treating the market as a bull. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look right now at the 4-hour time frame. So first of all, what you need to understand is that the fourth wave from the higher degree perspective was created inside of a contracting triangle, where this was the A wave, B wave, C wave, D wave, and then we have got a fake out E wave to the downside. If you are being educated for free on our website mycryptoparadise.com inside of our MCP free university, you know that these kind of deviations during the E wave are common, alright, and you need to be able to count with that, and you need to be prepared for reaction to that. So we have created A, B, C, D, E. The final E was a deviation below the lines connecting A and C wave, ladies and gentlemen, and after that we have started an impulse to the upside. So basically this was the end of the fourth wave, alright, and after that we have started a new impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was extended one and finished right here at our lower time frame resistance. So the important thing is to understand that lots of confluences right here on 4-hour time frame are supporting the $117,000 that is being also supported by the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level and all the things right here on the 1 daily time frame. So right now we are retesting the trend line of this previously determined channel, okay, so this ascending channel. As you can see, it's working so far pretty well. Take a look at that retest, beautiful. We are also at this demand zone, ladies and gentlemen. We are also retesting the descending trend line of our contracting triangle. So given that we will be holding all of this support, alright, we are going to the upside next, ladies and gentlemen, alright. So right now it's really important to see on 4-hour time frame if we can get some double bottom or any other bullish formation, ladies and gentlemen. If that's gonna be the case, we will be able to place our stop loss very tight to our entry, and we will be riding the swing trade towards $135,000. But we are waiting for confirmations with Paradise Family VIPs. We are trading with a proper professional trading strategy that is really focused on long-term success, on long-term survival. If you are trying to get rich quick in trading, it's not going to be good. You need to have a proper risk management, alright? If you want to get rich quick, it's better for you to go to casino. That's much better. If you want to do the trading professionally, you need to be working with a proper money management, risk management, proper entering and exiting tactics, and proper trading strategy that been backtested by you for multiple years for consistency, alright? So right now we are waiting for confirmations that this beautiful confluences at this demand zone is going to be holding, and after that we will determine that indeed the first wave was finished. Right now we are finishing the secondary wave and we are about to have the third wave, alright? And where the third wave is gonna finish, the same way we are getting loads of confluences for our support areas, we also want to get lots of confluences for our $135,000, right? And you know that from the ultra high time frame perspective, this is very important Fibonacci retracement level, but also on the medium time frame, ladies and gentlemen, right now if we analyze the Fibonacci spiral, alright, so basically I have placed it to the beginning where the fourth wave finished and the first wave of our new impulse started, alright? And after that, you basically need to get connected the spiral with the first motive mode wave, which finished right here. It was the first motive mode wave of our impulse. And basically then you need to zoom out, alright? But first of all, you need to connect it perfectly. So it's basically nicely touching the top of the first wave. And voila, if you get it connected perfectly, at least two connection points, 1 and 2, alright? and you can see how beautifully it's confluencing this Fibonacci spiral that is visible in nature. It's in your DNA. Nature is creating humans, and basically because it's in your DNA as well, it's shaping your emotions. And as you know, stock market, crypto market is really based on emotions, and that is why Elliott wave theory and Fibonacci sequences are working so well for predicting resistances and support levels. All right, so right now you can see a beautiful confluence at that $135,000, supported also by this Fibonacci spiral, ladies and gentlemen. So if this demand zone is gonna be holding, the next target is going to be $135,000. Of course, if we will go slower, if we will be consolidating the price action as we go to the upside, basically the time will extend, right? And the resistance will go lower and lower. So basically we might finish at only $129,000. Really depends on how we will progress, how fast we will progress, but loads of liquidity will be sitting at $135,000 around that area, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm taking a look at major target profit taking at this level area. So right now, all eyes on the demand zone. One important thing to understand is that right now we are having the bearish divergence because we have created a higher high, and on the MACD histogram we have created a lower high. As you know from our website mycryptoparadise.com, this is a bearish divergence, okay? And it's basically suggesting that the bulls at the top got exhausted, not enough momentum left, and bears took over. And that's also why we have got this rejection back to our demand zone. But take a look at that $117,000 level. Loads of confluences right here. The same way, loads of confluences on the daily time frame. Very strong support demand zone right here. If we take a look at the 1 hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen, let's calculate the Elliott waves right here, which will help us to determine the highest probability price action development in the upcoming days and weeks. So right here we have concluded the E wave of our contracting triangle. This was the end of the higher time frame impulse fourth wave, and after that we have started to create a new motive mode wave. This was the first wave, secondary wave, third wave, fourth wave, and then we have got an extended fifth wave where the smaller subwaves being one wave right here, secondary wave right here, third wave, fourth wave, and the final fifth wave touched beautifully our Fibonacci retracement level right here. So this is basically, with the highest probability, the first wave from the higher degree perspective, okay? So I'm talking about this one. So right now we need to watch out for a corrective mode wave, all right? And once it's going to be finished, and you know that we have loads of corrective mode waves to choose from, we have 3, 6, 9 of them. The secondary waves are usually deep corrections. That is why I have been sharing with you the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, because that's usually the amount of retrace the secondary wave does to the first wave, and usually it is a simple zigzag. Sometimes it's double zigzag or triple zigzag, all right? So if we take a look what's going on right here, we have created first, secondary, third, and right now fourth and fifth wave, all right? So this is, I do believe, a first wave, a wave, all right? Because from the zigzag formation, let's take a look. If we are creating a zigzag formation, the A wave and C wave are motive mode waves. So the A wave subdivides itself into 5 smaller waves, then we have a corrective B wave, and then again a C wave. Loads of guidelines from the Elliott wave perspective can help us to determine when the zigzag is going to be finished. You know, there is the rule of similarity, that the A wave is the same length as the C wave. We can calculate the subwaves, etc. So I do believe the A wave is finished. Right now I'm looking for a B wave creation, ladies and gentlemen. If we take a look at the Fibonacci sequence, we want to see how it's gonna react towards that 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level right here, okay? So I can place a small resistance. Let me make it dotted so you know that it's a weak resistance. It's gonna be a weak resistance. I want to see how it's gonna react, okay? If together with that we will have some corrective mode wave pattern, it will really increase the probability we are in ABC zigzag correction, and we might create some scalp short trade, maybe even day trade, on the pre-assumption that we might go and retest deeply this descending trend line. But But it's also possible that this test was enough, alright, and the C wave is going to be truncated. That's also sometimes probability that it will be truncated. This support level will hold. After that, I will be waiting for the first and secondary wave of the new impulse. On the secondary wave, we will be positioning ourselves with a nice tight stop loss. If you are more conservative, we will be looking to place the stop loss a little bit lower. Really depends on the price action that we will be looking at the moment on the market, and we will be riding the waves towards $129,000 because I do believe this is going to be the next major resistance because loads of confluences are there. I will be updating you about that in the next video because we don't have time for that in this one. Smash the like button so you get informed once the new video is going to be launched, ladies and gentlemen. So after that, after the secondary wave is finished, we will be looking for the third wave that will be finishing at around $129,000. And so basically the new impulse that will take us towards $135,000 might look something like this, all right? This is the secondary wave, third wave, then a fourth wave, right here at $124,000 will finish, and then we will have the final fifth wave that will take us towards where? Towards the $135,000. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the price action development with the highest probability. This is how we will be going, and I will be updating you about that on Saturday one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, right now wait for the secondary wave to be concluded, okay? And after that, if this demand zone will be holding, we are looking for a ride towards the $129,000. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are finding value in these videos, please smash the like button, comment down below what you have enjoyed most in this video, what are your opinions about Bitcoin right now, and I will see you again on Saturday. Cheers.
My crypto paradise.